Hi, my name is Steven, and I make fonts as Arrow type. Today I'll be continuing my exploration into a Kyrios Text Black or Ultra weight, and ultimately seeing how it might work to actually expand this family with a weight axis. Kyrios currently has an optical size axis only, but I kind of want to push it a little further, so that's why I'm doing this. And if you want, you can find out more about Kyrios on my website, arrowtype.com, where you can get trial fonts or license it if it feels right for your projects. But let's get right into it. This is what I've converted to the black weight so far, at least a first draft of it. You can see that here's a regular display, here's a text display, and then this is the text black. So I'm going to do a couple of preliminary things to set this up and kind of get it up to snuff before doing a lot of drawing adjustments. But you can see a few markings here on Glyphs, and these confused me at first as a new Glyphs user. The little triangle here with the exclamation point means that the metrics are like not synced. And then the red triangle here, I believe, means that it's not compatible for interpolation. So yeah, let's fix the basics first. This has a little red marking here. So if we do Control Command M, that syncs the metrics, and this equals n means that in this specific master or source layer, I want it to equal n, but that is not necessarily an equation I want happening in the other layers. In B, it didn't fix it when I did it here, so I could do I think Shift Control Command M to fix it in all masters. And let me try that. Did I get it wrong? Update metrics for all masters. So it's actually all three mod keys M. So let's try that. I got there by holding Option. That sometimes gives you more menus or more items in a menu. That is a little suspect to make it equal n, but in this master layer it's probably fine. Let's see. Okay, equals O. And yeah. So that should solve it. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot to start up Keycaster. So now hopefully it'll there we go. Show you the hotkeys I'm actually doing. Okay, the other thing to fix is compatibility, so let's take a quick look at that. I'm going to turn the metrics view on here, and then compatibility, I think, there we go. So it's all three mod keys N, and you can see that here the start point is this, here it's that, but here it goes up to here. So if I select all nodes, it's kind of twisted around a little bit. So there's different ways to fix this. The typical one is just that sometimes works. It kind of auto assigns the order and direction of contours in the current master. I think if, let's see, I add option to that. No, all right, I'll stop mashing keys. Let's see, correct path direction for all masters. Okay, so I guess that's Option Command Shift R. Okay, I should have been able to guess that. There we go. So that corrected it for all masters, and now it's, let's see, can we show all instances? Cool. This kind of gives us a interpolation, I think. Text bold is definitely an interpolation, so that works out. And yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that for all of these. Fixing interpolation is kind of a fairly quick thing and makes me feel productive. So that's always a nice way to start out. Was that the right thing? So that should have auto-assigned it. Correct path direction for all masters. option. Oh, okay, I got it wrong again. There we go. And it still seems to be incompatible, so let's kind of explore why that might be. Trying to, there we go. So you can go between masters with option page up, page down. And I forget if it's possible I set that as a shortcut in system preferences. I don't quite remember. Things are falling. So what? Actually, I heard about a plugin that would be very useful for this recently. Thanks to somebody who commented that. So let's see if we can find it. In RoboFont, I'm pretty used to displaying point indices, like a count on each point. If here we go. Okay. So index, show node indexes, view. Okay, that makes sense. So this gets up to 24. And these get up to 25. Okay, so I've got an extra point somewhere in here. Oh, this also kind of shows red to show why. Another way I've found useful is to step through. So let's actually make a new tab for only this guy and then step through. You select one node and then you can hit tab and kind of watch in the background layers here. And this kind of can help you see when it falls out of sync. Oh, I see. Okay. Yep, that was pretty, apologies for the siren. That was pretty subtle, but these have a bit of a flat segment there. So let's see if we slice that. Oh, that's not how you do it. Oh well. There. Cool. Oh, okay, that was easy. That was easy. Yeah, most of these I just need to run the correct start or correct path direction on all of the masters, and it's working. So that's cool. A lot of that is because how I was drawing this was just moving existing nodes around rather than trying to redraw it from scratch. Okay, so this one is also going to need one more bit of care. So let's bring it to its own tab. Okay, so this gets up to 98 points. These get up to 95 points. Okay, so because I know this family, I'm guessing there's probably some sort of issue where I simplified one of the corners, one or more of the corners. Probably this one. So I'm going to add an extrema there. But now this has even more points. So that's not necessarily what I wanted. Alright, I'm going to do the step through again. And this is already kind of strange. It is showing me that it's connected to this one. Maybe it's just a display glitch. Let's go. Where are we at? Oh, okay. It was around this corner then that it got out of sync. It kind of raced ahead here. I see. So this is an inflected curve here, whereas here it is not. So let's, there we go. Maybe there are two of those here. Yep, I see. Cool. All right. And I still have a bit of an issue where I should probably be more opinionated about the exact structure of these corners. Like, they should all have the same structure if I was being fully smart, but also I probably just have to work with a little more with the interpolation here to figure out like a real opinion, if there is one worth having, about what structure works best. This ogonek is definitely going to need adjustment, but we'll get there. But that is good because now, if we look at our basic Latin, we have no metrics keys out of sync and no incompatible masters. So that's really pretty excellent. Yeah, the next phase will be redrawing these. And there's actually one more thing that I think I'll do here, because I don't only have to redraw these, I also have to redraw the text variations of the RVRN scale before I can have a proper look at how this weight axis is operating. So let me try something. I'm going to make a filter list. I really like filters. They're so helpful. Let me try to do it with a smart filter, and then we'll see. Any of the following are true. Can I say category is... I'm kind of wondering if there's like, there probably is. What I'm looking for is a way to say, is it Latin basic? Basically the 26 letters English readers know and love. Or does it have a dot text suffix? And if either are true, let's add it to this filter category. And there's got to be a way to do it, I guess. I could potentially do like a Unicode range. I don't know. I might give up in a sec if if I can't figure it out super easily. Okay. Tags. That's an interesting way. I might be able to do this with tags. I never really use tags, but okay, let's try this because that would be sweet. Tags. Basic. And then let's also go to all and search .text. Okay. Let's go to drawn if I can. Drawn glyphs.text. Okay, here. And we'll get to the OEAE probably. But let's do the real basics first. I'm going to add, oh no, I forgot the tag already. Basic, I think. Now let's say add smart filter, and we'll say tags is basic. Basic tag. Okay, I see. Heyo. Did that work? No. Let's try once more. Okay, drawn glyphs, and we want the dot text glyphs. Why did the tag not add? Okay, let's try this again. Basic. Okay, basic tag. Yes. Yes, now it worked. Okay. So now we can, this is a really helpful filter, and I'm sure I will return to that more in the future. But for now, let's pick these up and set up a spacing string and make tab with, oops, I don't want that. Let me make tab with spacing string for selected glyphs. There we go. All right, cool. So this is my remit for the afternoon. And I think I will use the word remit correctly, but I don't know for sure. So we'll find out later. That is my goal. But once I have put these together, then I can make a real, like, I mean, I kind of already could, but it wouldn't really tell me fully what I want to know. And I have a relatively high certainty I want to at least see and try this font fully in a bold. So I think it's worth doing the whole alphabet. Of course, I'm not 100% sure of that. A friend pointed out to me that in the initial version of Kyrios, I say I'm not going to make a weight axis unless the family is a huge success. And they're like, so does this mean the family was a huge success? And no, not particularly. It just means that I like it and am curious about pushing it further. So, yeah, that's pretty much why I'm doing this. Okay, one thing I am curious about, no pun intended, is I've got quite a few glyphs that are compatible now, and I really want to know what might happen if I try to kind of extrapolate the fourth corner here. So I've got display regular, text ultra, which is kind of like three corners of a design space. If you were to draw it out on a rectangle, but let's try something else, which is making that fourth corner. So we want optical size 48, weight 900. So add master. Wait, no. Do we add it as an, okay, I have to just remember how to do this. I think we add it as an export first, and then we can set it. So 48, 900. This is also gonna potentially be a cool way to like create a light in the future, or I don't know if I will do a light for this family, but it can be a nice way to do that. And I almost wonder if making it a 700 weight is sensible so that we actually still have, or the other thing I was doing in my kind of bold prep script when I was making prototypes of this, see the earlier video in this little mini series, I was making the display black kind of half as much movement as the text black. So the text black got 100 or 200 units thicker for each stem, and 100 units kind of shifted in the Y direction. Whereas the display black looked best with only 100 units of X shift and 50 units of Y shift. So basically, if we go halfway between 400 and 900, I think that's 650. All right, let's, this is such basic math, but let's just verify it. Okay, 650, cool. So now we have a potential display ultra, and let me make these not active, and then I can generate instances to see how this looks. Okay. I never am 100% confident about what to do in that window. We can see that the eye has a bit of a funny shape here, so we might as well fix that because it's going to be really easy. Are there any others? Let's go to Latin Basic. The eye is the only one with, well, these two. Okay, I'm going to fix the eye, and then the base is the dotless I and dotless J. But that was already looking kind of nice. Okay, so let's I, J dotless, I dotless. Okay, these were not yet compatible. Boom. Kaboom. Boom. All right, let's try to generate instances again. And it might look a lot better. Okay. Latin Basic, please. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that maybe looks kind of good already. Let's try Word of Mat. Let's select everything and then deselect things. Wise. Usually works great to hold command and drag, but maybe that's only true to select and not to deselect. Yeah, maybe. All right. Word of Mat, please. Use only selected glyphs, 200 words. Let's go. Let's turn off metrics viewing. All right, okay, that worked better than I thought it might. That looks kind of cool, if I can say so myself. There are issues, like I don't necessarily want the A to cross all the way over. The S shouldn't really have this kink in it, and this is too flat. So there are lots of tiny issues, but overall the impression of this is pretty sick, which this is the kind of reason I really enjoy making fonts. Sometimes it's these like kind of leap forward moments where 1 + 1 = 4. You know, where if you set up two interpolatable masters that are both drawn well, you can get a whole range in between. If you set up 3, you can sometimes extrapolate into new spaces or corners. That's pretty cool. It almost always requires fixing, so it's usually more like 1 + 1 = 4 once you add 2. There's very few things that are truly like no work involved, if you have any standards at all. But yeah, I don't know. I'm talking too much. This looks sick. So this makes me want to keep going for sure. Cool. Let's just try it. I probably will accidentally type something that I haven't yet done. But trying, oh, there we go. Starting with one. Trying it out. Kyrios Display Ultra Plus. Yeah, all right. So I feel like I always really like typing in a font for the first time, kind of. It's kind of a magical experience. Except here it's very painfully obvious that I'm still just in the middle of it because half of these uppercase letters are not yet ready to interpolate at all. So yeah, hopefully that was as fun for you to see as it was for me. But let's keep cruising here and see where we can get to. So Oh, do I really? Oh, here. I'm thinking like, do I really not have a single just basic upright stem? How's that looking? All right, not terrible. Oh, let's stop viewing all these nodes because that is just obnoxious when you don't need it. All right, and let's kind of shrink these guys. And I want to view my metrics again, please. Having taken a small break, I almost feel once again that I don't know what I'm doing. But maybe I never did know what I was doing. That's more likely. All right. Well, you know, I shouldn't complain that much. It's just to say I'm still figuring it out. And this, there is a K.text, I believe. Yeah, with simplified shapes that probably work better. In fact, this is one glyph where I might make this the default and not have this at all. That could be a sensible decision. Let's open this guy up and pop that together. There we go. Fix the paths so that at least we can oh, that's kind of a more fun view. Fix the paths so we can at least see how things are working out. Because, well, I go back and forth. I'm not really looking at maybe this can be all the way descendered in this version. I'm not really looking super closely at the spacing strings down here in this phase of stuff. I'm trying to get decent spacing as I draw, but like I'm mostly in kind of play around mode, I guess. I feel like a boomer for asking this, but is to F around and find out necessarily a bad thing, or can it be a good thing? Surely it can be a good thing, because I feel like that describes the creative process much of the time. All right. All right. Yeah, I'm still having a hard time knowing quite what to do with all of these ball terminals in this weight. That got unvertical somehow. Okay. This is not thick enough yet. Okay, let's correct that. Just looking at the weight of it, it's kind of light, and this looks bad still. This feels like it needs to be a globbier section, probably. Let's hope we can do this without changing the angle too much, because I'd rather not have to worry about suddenly having a kink there. I've said a lot before, but to avoid kinks, you try to keep the angle or the ratio of this handle to this handle the same between masters. Can we see how it's looking here? Okay, yes. Yeah. Oh well, that's probably over-optimizing to start, honestly, especially because this probably won't be... Maybe this time around I'll try fixing the text versions at the same time. As their display counterparts. Interesting that I'm calling it. All right. This doesn't yet have the background we want. So let me step back, actually. Rep. There we go. All right. What if I push this all the way out to start? And then fix things. All right. It's worth a try anyway. Maybe we'll just see what the transformation tool does here. Obviously this angle is super messed up, but that can be fixed. And let's transform this guy to keep its ratios somewhat intact. Kind of looking to match the K contrast here, K and O contrast. You know what, I could probably almost grab that, but what's the phrase about letting wildflowers bloom? Maybe that's the approach I'm sort of taking with not copying and pasting every curve right away. That is, by the way, a sort of cliche I think I've heard about I don't know, things in tech usually trying to allow lots of experiments to run in tandem, and then you can discover potentially the best thing after some like real world results. Okay. It looks kind of stiff a little bit. But it might kind of work out. Let's fix the compatibility. And to be honest, I guess I'm trying to figure out which instance is what. So I guess we've got our micro. I'm going to remove that for now because it's not very helpful seeing it. This must be the bold, I guess. This is the ultra. This is the text. And then this stuff is display. This is display. Okay. Maybe I'll pop that one up there. Okay, that moves it. That's pretty handy. I see. And this is standard, and then these three are text. So this is kind of the one I'm going to sort of keep an eye on, actually, to understand how interpolation is working between the existing style and the new stuff I'm drawing. So that's going to probably be pretty handy. Okay. We've got this big old M. That should be fun. Let me go over here instead. And also, what is our A? So these shapes are kind of copied. So maybe I'll start by grabbing one of those. I shouldn't say copied so much as like related. Let's flip this around. 180 degrees, please. Usually we want smaller spacing. Okay. I'm going to like straight up delete these. And that way I can pull this up and let me just shrink this. Let's make sure these connect. And you know what I'm going to try? I'm going to start by mirroring it. Not always the best idea, but sometimes potentially might be. Okay. I'm still like sort of in a phase of trying to determine whether this idea is working in the first place. So the faster I can move, potentially the better. These spaces are a little too small, and then this inside is interesting, and then it's way too narrow, but that might be kind of cool. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to kind of bring it out there. That looks better. Okay. Let's bring back the metrics. Where are you? What? Okay, this is the guy I was looking for. Let me reflect its side bearing there. And it's a pretty much symmetrical glyph, so I think I'll want that to be done for every layer of this glyph. Thought that would work better than it did. Just trying to kind of smooth that out a little bit. might open these up a bit and allow the middle to be somewhat narrower. So this A has too much contrast, I would argue right now. So let's kind of correct that. Let's get rid of these and then re-add them. I have a shortcut assigned to a script that does that. Another one of these guys, make guideline between selected points. And that way, let's try this. Because I think the stems might be about right. I don't know. These are probably too... I'm not sure yet. Like too high up, too thin in here, but I don't, that one's a weird detail and a hard thing to know how it will work best in this particular style. Okay, let's copy this. I'm going to delete this whole left side so I can copy that, and let's copy this. Cool. All right, let's shrink this down and maybe over by a good distance to kind of get the approximately right counter sizing for where we're headed. And then let's bring this out. And I kind of didn't go all the way to here, so I'm going to try to match that distance if that makes any sense. Okay. Make it compatible again. Give it enough side bearing again. This is probably going to have to get way bigger. Something more like that. Okay, it's kind of in the ballpark again. All right. Okay. How far are we? Good Lord, not far at all. Font design feels slow sometimes. All right. Do I have anything related to that shape yet? Maybe not. The R? No. Ugh. Oh well. I will soon enough. Okay, so I mean this is a start at least. probably won't want this shooting out so much over in this black weight or ultra weight because we've got less spacing to work with. Less space between characters. There we go. Just trying to make it upright. Okay. We've connected them. Now let's bring this guy over. Get back there. Make it way fatter. Maybe something like this could be the right call. I don't quite know yet. I just want to have enough presence, you know? Okay, I've realized that it's New York in the summer and pretty hot outside, which means that my apartment is also warming up, and I don't have the AC on because I want the recording to be decent, and I don't want to put, I mean, God bless you if you've watched 50 minutes of me rambling about type design. But I want AC, and I don't want you to deal with audio that has AC in it. So I am going to do two more glyphs that one will be super low-hanging fruit, and the other one will be, I guess, also low-hanging fruit in another similar way. So basically, all right, the uppercase U in this family is pretty dang similar to the uppercase N, so that's kind of sick. And certainly in this current phase, I will allow it to be like exactly the same for now. Which is kind of interesting because it shows us that, oops, possibly that combo should be pretty darn tightly spaced for it to kind of work there. Then again, maybe some of that will be kerning. Probably has to be. All right, and then anyway, that's far enough to at least have something there. And let's get this one as well. Oops, I just want this probably. All right, so let's start with copying this. We're gonna need to expand it by a lot, but we'll start somewhere. Maybe we'll start it there. And let's okay. There we go. Let's join these. Oh, no, come on. There we go. Join those two up. And then yeah, I guess we'll fix the left side and then we'll mirror it to be the right side. And it might be as simple as that. And I say that the T is also low-hanging fruit. I mean, I have to do all these letters anyway if I want to have something that's really close to being a font. But yeah, the T is sort of the second most commonly used character in English. So I know that it will help me understand the texture of this font, and it will show up in a lot of words. So I definitely need to have it in any kind of reasonable test of this. And by doing some more frequent characters early, maybe it helps you discover the shape and size of things like ball terminals. So that's maybe part of the practical utility of thinking about letter frequency. All right. This is another character that has a text alternate, partly again because it's got because it's such a frequent letter. Oh. Double click to select it all. Dock it over here. Widen this out. Let's I'm pretty sure this can be symmetrical in every master, so I'll do that. There, nice. It is once again compatible. I sort of think that these can be pretty narrow spaces in there. And that allows me to get this bigger. I think these have to come way down to sort of thicken that up a bit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Well, it's something. And well, let's pop in our t.text as well, because this will be fairly closely related, and it will just have these being different. So let me chop off this Yeah, I guess it's just the same stem, really. But that is a useful start. Oops. Maybe I will include that. How thick are we gonna try to make it? Seems roughly something. All right, let's flip it around and stick it on there. Oh god. In fact, I should have the stem involved too, so it's easier to know how far over to pull it. Okay. Boom. Boom. Cool. I didn't expect this, but I kind of like it, how it sort of gets narrower and flares out there. Looks like looks a bit like dog ears or something. Kind of fun. I think, what are these telling me? I think they're just random points. Okay. And again, I need to order my points around better. But all right, well, there's a better start, and let's see how we're doing in this view. Font design can be slow some of the time, but it's not too bad, and we're making progress. But like I said, for me to keep going at a reasonable pace, I'm gonna need some air conditioning, and I think I've probably lost about every viewer already after a good 50 or 60 minutes of design. But if you stayed for the whole thing, thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a great day. If you're working on something creative or something that you care about, hope it's going great. Take care.